Hey babies, welcome back to another Affinity video. I tried recording this video earlier this week, but my recording software stopped working for me. But hopefully I've got that figured out now, and hopefully it won't happen again. This week I'm playing 2 copies of Orvar in the sideboard instead of any Tormod scripts. Basically just because I keep queuing into Creativity, and Creativity does have more of a meta share than anything that we'd bring Tormod script in against. So for now I think that's what I'm gonna do. Also, I'm still playing a 4-2 split of the Misfault Bridge versus Tanglepool Bridge. I'm not really sure which one's correct, but again, getting the double black fixing for cranial plating is a little bit more relevant against Creativity than Haywire Might is. So let's get into the games. Alright, round 1, we won the die roll, so we're going to take the play. We have... This hand looks pretty solid. 2 Urza Sagas, so we'll be ramping on turn 3. Turn 1, Springleaf Drum. Turn 2, Patchy. And then Froggy, Monitor, Sojourner's Companion to go up the Affinity ladder. Let's keep it. Seems very solid. And drum, and let's see what our opponent's playing. We are very susceptible to a Blood Moon if they get one down early, but it's kind of unlikely in the current format. Cavern on Human. Champion, okay. So probably mono-white humans. I did see a multicolor humans deck recently. That was kind of interesting to see again. Alright, we didn't draw Memnite. That would have been an interesting one because we would have started to make constructs earlier. Let's just go... Second Saga, so we can make a construct next turn, Patchy, and pass. I assume it's either going to be Thalia or Thalia's Lieutenant maybe this turn, but we'll see. If it's mono-white humans, I'm not really worried about their main deck, although we do have to play around the pseudo-deflecting palm they have, I forget what it's called, and also possibly Solitudes. Okay, we take 2. We are going to draw Thoughtcasts. Haha, Thalia, we get to play it anyway if we want to. Put these on the stack. Float mana. Okay. I guess I just get another drum here. So I could play both of the blue spells this turn if I want to. But I'm going to hold back a mana for... Well, I guess I don't need to hold back a mana for the construct as long as I make it main phase. So I have 4, play Froggy, that gets me to 5, make a construct, that gets me to 6, Thought Monitor gets me to 7, always yield. See what we get. Haywire Might, let's play Companion, and I think I'd rather just Thoughtcast than play out Might here. Then we can attack Patchy, and they should just be dead, honestly. We are very far ahead on board. They don't really have ways of catching up once they're behind, since humans plays kind of like a tempo deck with their taxing effects. Maybe they have a couple Solitudes or something, we'll see. Thalia's Lieutenant, alright. Grows the team. Attack. Do it. They don't attack, shockingly. Let's make another construct, like so. 2 to 4... I could just get Aether Spellbomb and be a dick here. That'd be kind of funny, because Shadow Spear is where I actually need to go to like win the game, but Aether Spellbomb bouncing champion means I can just attack him with everything and not care. I guess I already don't really care. Let's just get Shadow Spear. Alright. So how do we want a sideboard? Pithing Needle's probably necessary. It hits a couple of the ways that they have to blow up artifacts, and then some amount of Metallic Rebukes are probably good, although they're not great because of the caverns. Relic is bad. Haywire Might is bad. So we're definitely bringing these 2 in at least. I don't really like Nettle Cyst that much against Thalia decks. Honestly, Metallic Rebuke isn't that bad because even if they have a Cavern on humans, we can still counter Solitudes and... Damn, what is the name of that card? It's one of the shoals, the white shoal. Let me look it up. Shining Shoal, that's the one. And maybe Welding Jar we get rid of? Yeah, I think that makes sense. They have more exile effects than destroy effects. Let's run it like that. Cutting Nettle Cyst because although it can contend with their board, it's really bad against Thalia because it's hard for us to make 4 mana. This hand is definitely a mulligan, so let's get rid of it. Double Saga, Sojourner's Companion for the 3rd mana. I probably need to get rid of one of these blue cards. Let's keep. I think I'll get rid of Rebuke. I'd rather be proactive. If I draw into another Rebuke, I'm fine with it, but often from what I've seen against the mono-white humans deck, which I'm not sure it's mono-white anymore because they played Seachrome Coast on turn 1. We drew another Saga, so we have a lot of self-destructing lands. Hopefully they don't have some kind of hate card. They have Saga. Alright, it's definitely not the deck that I was thinking it was. At least to the same extent. They play Damping Sphere, okay, that's incorrect to side in against us. I don't understand what our opponent is playing quite anymore. Let's go ahead and run out Memnite. They didn't grow Champion. Do I want to cycle Sojourner's Companion here or equip Memnite? I'll probably cycle Sojourner's Companion, I think. I want to space out one of the sagas so I have a turn where I can actually do stuff and not have to just spend all my mana making constructs. Also, if I play another saga here, I lose a construct, or I could get 2 out of each of these. Fortified Beachhead. So it's a soldier deck, maybe? They played Cavern on Human, though, earlier, so maybe all of their humans are also soldiers. I guess I haven't paid attention to the second types on Thalia, but maybe they are soldiers. They don't attack. Very cool. So they're planning to make a construct here. Let's cycle Companion. Our constructs are just going to be bigger than theirs, so I'm not really concerned about them making any or preventing it. Let's put these on the stack, float some mana, get Springleaf Drum. We drew Patchy. I'd rather just make the construct, I think, though. So let's just do that. I'll go ahead and do it now. Pass the turn. We have 5 artifacts. Next turn we can make a construct, go up to 6, make a Springleaf Drum, go up to 7. We could either play Patchwork or Thought Monitor next turn, or equip Shadow Spear. Opponent is tutoring with their Saga. They might needle something. That would be a wise choice, I think. Are they going to needle Saga or Shadow Spear, though, is the question. Either way, it'll at least narrow down what we're planning on doing. They needle Shadow Spear instead of Saga. That's interesting. We don't really need the Shadow Spear to catch up at this point. They have a Reflector Mage. Okay. So they can bounce the Construct, I assume. They grow Champion. Alright. Well, we can still play Constructs, since we're not casting them anyway. Yeah, this deck is really weird and interesting. I'm not really sure what the draw of playing a Saga package in humans is, but I guess it's just something different to do. Alright, let's see. Let's get another drum. I want mana. Let's play Saga. Do I go Patchy Frogmite? I think that would make sense to do. This is pretty much the time that I'd be able to play Patchwork Automaton if I'm ever going to do it. I think the argument for playing Monitor here is I don't have a land lined up for next turn yet, but I could still find that with a Monitor next turn, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's play Patchwork out, get it to start growing. We're at 14, so we should be able to just tank any damage that we would be taking next turn without having to chump block, but we'll see. Opponent plays another Saga. Okay. They have 4 cards in hand. I wonder if they're playing Solitudes too. This is kind of a schizo deck, so I don't know what to expect out of them. I kind of wish I had the Haywire Might still in, though, I gotta say. If we go to game 3, I'll bring it back. Aether Vial. Okay. Attacks. I don't really want to trade away the Patchwork Automaton. This is 7, 8, 9. I'll just take it. If they Solitude something, I'd be gaining a bunch of life anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, Saga rolls up. Let's... Do I cast... I guess I cast Monitor either way, and then I decide whether I want to make a construct or equip up our construct with Shadow Spear and start swinging. Let's do it like that, because Memnite's a bit less of a big deal to just chump block with. Draw Cranial Plating. Let's play another Monitor. I think I'm leaning towards the Shadow Spear plan now. I'd like to draw some more free creatures, though. We do not. Oh, we can't equip Shadow Spear. I'm an idiot. Whoops. Alright, let's go Cranial Plating. Oh, that costs a bunch of mana. God damn it. I forgot I couldn't do that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll just leave the Construct back, since it can block and kill anything, so long as they don't Reflector Mage it away. And then beyond that, Patchy can still block a decent amount of stuff. I forgot about that Pithing Needle. I was too distracted by how weirded out I was by this deck. Alright, they play a tap Seachrome Coast, that's fine. They have 2 cards in hand. I assume they're going to use their mana this turn to make a construct. They could still have a Solitude, but if they do have a Solitude, it means that they're not vialing anything in. Okay, what do you got, opponent? Thalia. They're not making a construct. They would rather have a Thalia than the construct. That's a little weird. They grow both the champions. Could they have anything for 1 to violin that would blow us out? I don't think so. Alright, they're attacking with everything. Let's... Chump you, block you, block you... Well, block you, block you. I think that's correct. Okay. Opponent passes. We have a Metallic Rebuke up. We draw Treasure Vault. Let's make a construct. I think I'm just gonna grab... Do I grab Gingerbrute or Aether Spellbomb here? Or Needle? I could Needle Saga, I guess, but I don't really care about the construct. Their tutor might blow us out. I guess I just get Aether Spellbomb? Okay, they just scoop. Well, that deck was super weird. Maybe it's gotten a couple 5-0s or something, though? I don't really know. Alright, I'll see you in round 2. Alright, round 2, we lost the die roll, and we're up against a Giganta deck. This hand does not look keepable. We only have 1 land, and we don't really have a way to start a decent clock or draw more cards. Our opponent's also mulliganing to 6 at least, so we will join them. I do not like that this is the basic island, but otherwise this hand's okay. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. I'm gonna keep it. Do I want plating or Patchwork Automaton this game? I think I'd rather have the plating. Let's see if our opponent mulligans anymore or not. They might be playing Tron. They're going to 4, so I think it is probably Tron with the Giganta as a companion. Dismiss you. All right, our opponent kept 4. They go Urza's Mine, Chromatic Sphere. The guess was right. Hopefully they don't have turn 3 Tron because of all that mulliganing. I'm glad I got rid of the other Patchwork Automaton. Let's just go Springleaf Drum, pass. Not going to run out the Midnight because I'm going to respect Warping Whale. I really don't want the Midnight to get removed if it's my only other source of mana. And Sanctum of Ugin, no turn 3 Tron, already good. So that means they Sylvan Scribe for Power Plant and they're still missing one. All right, we have Welding Jar, let's go Memnite, Patchy, Welding Jar, and then Frogmite. The key to playing against Green Tron with Affinity, in my experience, other than having Damping Sphere in sideboard games, is developing enough of a board that can pressure Karn the Great Creator under an Ensnaring Bridge and get it to be dead. Usually all you need is like a Frogmite and a Memnite to do that because usually they'll have a couple cards stuck in their hand since they're very top heavy. They put Giganta in hand, okay. But hopefully this game they just don't have Tron at all. Ginger Brute, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can go Ginger Brute, okay, Rose Patchy, Thought Monitor, tapping Ginger Brute, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Do we find a land for plating? No, we do not, but we do find Frogmite and Sojourner's Companion. If they go Tron land into exactly Oblivion Stone, I'll be pretty sad about how I played that, but otherwise, that was quite a lot, and they should be dead, because we know they don't have the other Tron land, or at least they didn't as of last turn. They're at 10. What you got, opponent? Nothing. Hell yeah. All right, so let's bring in 3 Damping Spheres and Pithing Needle. And let's cut both the relics because they don't do all that much. Nettle Cyst since it's on the slow side, and Shadow Spear because we're never really trampling over anything or wanting lifelink anyway, and we'll run it like that. This hand has 1 land, Springleaf Drum again, no Damping Sphere, our opponent's mulliganing to 6. I'm gonna mulligan as well. All right, this hand I think is keepable. We have a bunch of Memnites, Cranial Plating, we can activate Urza's Saga off of a Memnite and a Drum. On turn 2, our opponent's mulliganing to 5. I'm going to keep. We might be able to slap our opponent really hard with a construct with a plating on it and just like kill them, hopefully. Opponent's mulliganing to 4 again. They are getting unlucky, and they keep 4. Wait, no? Yeah, they keep 4. They play Chromatic Star. All right, 2 cards in our opponent's hand. We draw Spell Bomb. Let's go Saga, Drum. I'm going to run out 1 Memnite and keep the other one in my hand in case they have like a Chalice, and then we'll pass. We would only be swinging in with 1 Memnite anyway next turn if we played them both. So ideally, yet again, it doesn't matter. They crack the star for a green and a draw. So something I got into recently was Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I took a little bit of a break from playing Magic and was doing that instead. And it was pretty interesting. They get a forest with Sylvan Scrying, so they must already have Tron. I don't know why they would get a forest. Maybe they have a naturalize effect that they want to use on either Saga or the Construct, but that's a little weird. They still have Giganta, so I know they don't have Force of Vigor. Let's attack for 1. Depending on if they're tapped out or not, I might go for the Cranial Plating big slap play, or I might just avoid doing that. Hopefully they don't have natural Tron. They do have Tron. Okay. What you got, opponent? They put Giganta in hand. Is that really your payoff for Tron? My god. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9. They can't dismember the construct. They could Warping Whale and block it, I guess. What would they have kept in their hand? Let me think. So I tap Saga, make a mana. I could get a Dork with Saga, so I don't have to tap either of the Memnites for mana. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 18, 20 damage. They should just be dead here. Unless they have exactly Warping Whale to like chump block, and that's in that scenario we're kind of blown out, I guess. All right, let's make a mana. I could also just Thought Cast here, but I think I'd rather go for the guaranteed damage. Let's get Ginger Brute, I guess. 7, 8. Wait, I need to tap Springleaf Drum to do that, don't I? That's a little annoying. How does that change the math? I'm definitely playing Drum either way, because it does more damage when it's ×2 than a Memnite does. I can get up to 9, then I'm swinging for 18, and then I just have to swing with 1 Memnite, right? That should be right. Yeah. Okay, I didn't screw myself as hard as I thought I did for a second there. I just miscounted 1 bit. All right, do you have interaction, or am I swinging 19 on turn 3? I swung for 19 on turn 3. That was pretty cool. All right, I'll see you in the next round. All right, round 3 with Affinity. Our opponent's on the play. They are keeping 7, and we are keeping this hand. We have the old Springleaf Drum 0-drop Urza's Saga. We have a Cranial Plating, and we have a Relic, just either as an additional artifact or a little bit of interaction maybe if it's relevant. So I like this hand. Opponent leads on Scalding Tarn. That makes me a little bit wary of running out the Springleaf Drum with Saga. Makes me think they're probably playing Murktide. Let's just go Darksteel Citadel, Drum, and they're probably gonna Spell Pierce us here, I would assume. They go to 17. Yep, there's a Spell Pierce. Okay. and we'll just pass after that. Both the Relic and the Aether Spellbomb are a little bit more important than Springleaf Drum if this is Murktide. It looks like it isn't Murktide though, since they just played Ketria Triome. We might be playing against Creativity. Let's play Saga, Relic. It's relatively unlikely they have another Spell Pierce here, I mean. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and run out the Aether Spellbomb. Hopefully get it into play. Yep. I'm assuming it's Creativity since these are both part Mountain. Wooded Foothills. Still looks like it could be Creativity. They haven't played anything yet, though, which is kind of weird for that deck. Usually they're playing Renin 6 or Fable the Mirror Breaker relatively early in the game. Let's play Saga. And I guess we'll just pass. See what our opponent does on their turn 4. They crack Wooded Foothills. Getting Xander's Lounge. Almost certainly a Creativity deck now. They play Bloodstained Mire. Okay. If they just get one Archon, I think I just Spellbomb it back to hand and start attacking them, right? Yep, Creativity. It's an Archon. Let's discard, I guess, Thoughtcast. I want the Cranial Plating for damage, and I want the Ornithopter so I can tap Springleaf Drum for mana without tapping a Construct. Opponent's at 18. Let's float mana. So I get Drum. I wonder if there's a way that I can kill them here. I'd have to bounce for sure. Get Drum. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd have to draw a land to do that, right? Because this is 3 mana for Cranial Plating. I guess I can make them block with Archon, which isn't bad. Let's go Ornithopter, Thought Monitor. Hopefully we just draw non-sapped land and we don't have to think about it all that much. Draw 2. We do not. We did find a companion. That doesn't do necessarily what we need, though. I still want to get the drum in play. I think I just make them block, right? That way I still have the Aether Spellbomb for later. And I might as well just play the Sojourner's Companion. If they play another Archon, I would probably just be discarding Patchy anyway, since it's kind of cumbersome on the mana. And let's go ahead and target them with Relic too, just to get that activation out of the way. Okay, so what do they follow up with is the question. I don't think they're going to be able to Creativity X2 here. They might have another Creativity with another Dwarf, but Aether Spellbomb kind of sorts that out. At least I would think. And they don't play anything on their turn. Okay. Let's make a construct. Might as well. Let's get another Springleaf Drum so I can move Cranial Plating. And I guess I'll leave back Thought Monitor. Does that make sense? I think so. Play an island. Relic targeting you. Yeah, let's just go to combat. I assume they have removal here. They must. They might have Prismari Command? I don't know. Opponent has Prismari Command, kills Thought Monitor, and destroys Cranial Plating. Do I bounce the Thought Monitor in response, or do I hold that for interaction later? I think I just hold on to the Aether Spellbomb, because they could have a Bolt here, and otherwise Bolt's not that relevant. They're still dead if they don't make Archon soon. Do I want to run out Patchwork Automaton? Yeah, it's probably fine. I don't think they have Spell Snares, and we'll pass. Still holding up, either popping Relic or bouncing something with Aether Spellbomb. They should just be dead. Hooray. Alright, well we have some Orvars for this, so hopefully that'll help us. Gonna bring in Needle. Now we're cutting a bunch of stuff too. Let's cut both the Patchies, Haywire Mite, Ginger Brute, Memnite, Nettle Cyst. Creativity, I think, is out of, at least out of the tier 1 decks, the one that I'm the least confident with how I'm sideboarding against, just because it seems like a rough matchup and I feel like I could be doing better against it. But I think keeping all the Thoughtcasts is necessary, rather than siding out some of them for the blue mana being held up with Metallic Rebuke, especially now that we're playing Orvar, because it's sort of a mid-rangey matchup. It can get to points where they're not necessarily comboing and we just need to refuel after they either board wipe us or answer a bunch of stuff. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. This hand's kind of mid, but I think I'm going to keep it since we have the Saga and a couple blue mana. But I think since we're trying to dig for Orvar, we want to have all the draw 2s possible to make it relatively consistent that they can't just go off when they want to. Let's play Bridge and pass. We drew another Saga. I'm probably just going to play a Saga on turn 2. Although if they're holding up mana, I might play a Bridge instead because they might be representing Nature's Claim. They play Explore. Okay, and Bloodstained Mire. The Explore kind of makes me want to play Saga out, although I still suspect that they have removal. Alright, let's just play it out, because we're probably going to need to establish a board a bit sooner than we normally would if they're going to be making an Archon on turn 3. But we'll see. They have 5 cards in hand. They play Dwarven Mine. Alright, and Fable. Okay, so not an Archon this turn at least. That's something. We draw Relic. Let's play Darksteel Citadel. And I guess I'll just pass. Is it worth making a board here? Because what I'm thinking is maybe they don't have the creativity yet. They could find it pretty easily with Fable the Mirror Breaker here. But I don't want my construct to be boltable. Let's make a board. That way we can pretty easily block the Goblin Shaman even if our construct gets removed. And hopefully it won't make too much of a difference for us here. That Explore changes the math to this matchup quite a lot, because usually you can be kind of lazy for the first couple of turns. They didn't discard anything with Fable, so I assume that means that they must already have creativity, right? They attack in with Goblin Shaman. I'll make a construct now. I will block the Goblin Shaman. So they need to go untapped land for creativity X2 using the treasure and the dwarf. Is that what happens here? Or are they doing something else? Is it a Prismari command? It is. Okay. Well, they still didn't have creativity this turn, I guess. So that's interesting. They Besage You away our Saga. That's a little annoying. They only have 2 cards in hand, though. It could be that they're waiting on creativity for when they have Fable activation up, but that seems a little weird. Let's play the other Saga, I guess. Let's play out Relic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Sojourners for 1. I'm just going to go ahead and pop Relic now in case I draw a Thoughtcast. There's already a Besage in the graveyard, so it's worth doing now. We found a Springleaf Drum. I guess I'll play that, and we'll just pass. I'll attack with Froggy, I guess. Might as well. They're about to have a bunch of 2/2s, so I'm not going to get any more chances to attack in with Frogmite. They flip over Reflection of Kiki Jiki. They have 3 cards in hand. What do they have? They didn't have a land last turn. They would have to attack in with the Goblin Shaman to Creativity X2 here. And they'd need to get rid of Reflection of Kiki Jiki and the Dwarf to do that. Honestly, I think we have a chance as long as they don't keep the Reflection of Kiki Jiki and get like 2 Archons. They get down to 12. They found a land. Looks like they have it. Yep. Okay. Very sad. Alright, we get double Archon. Discard Ornithopter, discard Tanglepool Bridge, sacrifice Froggy, don't sacrifice anything else. See what we draw. We draw Darksteel Citadel, and we're dead. Okay, we will scoop it up. I wonder if they must have just been slow playing that since they didn't discard to Fable, right? They must have just been playing it safe, I would assume. I don't think I want to change how I sideboarded at all. Let's just run it back. Hopefully we'll find Orvar this time. Again, like I said, creativity gives me a lot of trouble. I guess it's just partially because I'm playing a creature deck, but something about it, man. If you can play the tempo game just right, it feels like you're doing really well against them, but if you let them go a little bit too long, it's pretty bad for you. Alright, we have Aether Spellbomb, we have Springleaf Drum for mana. I like this hand, we'll keep. We can refuel with Thought Monitor. Let's just start off with Bridge Pass. I'd like to naturally draw a 3rd land, but if I have to cycle Sojourner's Companion, that's not that big of a deal. Next turn, I'm probably just going to go Saga, Drum, Spellbomb, and hopefully everything resolves since they're holding up mana. We found an island. Don't necessarily want to find the early island in this matchup, but it's fine. Let's play Saga. Okay, they don't have Nature's Claim. I'd rather them counter Springleaf Drum than Aether Spellbomb. Looks like they don't have a counter, and we'll pass. So next turn I can go basic island, and I guess just make a construct. I could play Frogmite out too, but there's not much of a point in that since we're just playing into sorcery speed removal at that point. They could easily have Brotherhood's End or something like that. But making constructs, holding up Spellbomb activation, and eventually refilling the hand with Thought Monitor, I guess, is our game plan for this one. I'd like to draw a Darksteel Citadel. They play Explore, okay. They play a tapped Stomping Ground, still no Nature's Claims, that's great news. Although it does mean that they could be trying for an Archon soon. We find a Cranial Plating. I like having that. Let's just play an island. And I guess we still just pass now. When Saga pops, I'm probably getting a drum with it. I could wind up getting a Needle if they play Renin 6 out. They play Dwarven Mine. Alright. And they pass. Interesting. Looks like they might have Prismari Command here, since they're thinking about doing something at the end of their turn. They do have Prismari Command. They're getting rid of Drum. I think that means I'm just going to go ahead and Spellbomb away their Dwarf. The reason being is I really want to resolve this Thought Monitor soon, and I don't want to have to keep holding up mana on top of doing that. We found an Orvar. Okay, that's good news. Let's see if they have bolts to kill these constructs or not. They do not. I could get Welding Jar to try to gotcha them if they try to go for creativity on the treasure, but I don't think that's reliable. So let's just get Drum. 4, 5... I might as well play out Froggy, I think. I can't play Monitor yet anyway, since I didn't find a land, but it's a little bit extra damage, and I can sacrifice Frogmite and not feel bad about it if they get an Archon into play. Now, I'm curious if they're gonna hold up mana if they creativity here, because they might have a Veil of Summer, and that would be really annoying. Hopefully not, but okay, they Wrenn and 6. They don't have creativity yet. That's great news. They pick up a land. Still could be going for creativity next turn. We will see, because they might have needed to make another token or something. But let's see if they have interaction, because they need to get rid of these constructs. Prismari command. I'll float mana, I guess. It's interesting that they're not blowing up a construct. That seems a little weird to me, considering how much damage they're representing. If we draw a Darksteel Citadel, I would be very, very happy. They get a Dwarven Mine, and they bolt one of the constructs. Okay, that makes sense. Our board is very meek currently. Thought Monitor, not very exciting. Let's just Sojourner's Companion, get a tapped land, get us closer to playing Thought Monitors in the future. Do I just go face or do I go for Wrenn and 6? I guess I just go face, right? Since I can't kill the Wrenn and 6 with the one hit. Alright. This is sketchy. If they make another dwarf in Creativity X2, they're going to get rid of our construct token. We make them sack probably Wrenn and 6 with the first Archon activation of ours. And then the second one gets another Archon. They explore. They must still not have it then. They're just trying to draw cards. Huh. They crack Scalding Tarn. They go to 9. They go to 7 with a Steam Vent. They play Jace. Okay. I assume that bounces the construct. They're playing real loosey-goosey with their life total, I gotta say. But I guess for Jace, it makes sense. Alright, we go all the way down to 19 with this dwarf hit. We need to find artifact lands. We did find an artifact land. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'd rather get Thought Monitor into play and get further into our deck than go Cranial Plating here. Because hopefully we'll find some free artifacts to make the future ones cost less. We found an Urza's Saga, that's interesting. We found a Tanglepool Bridge, that's interesting. I'm not sure which one I'm going to play next turn, but I definitely want to get another Thought Monitor into play. We need to pressure Wrenn and 6 so it doesn't get to ult anytime soon. Still a few turns away from doing that, but the pressure is on. They go to 6. They get another dwarf. Okay. They found the creativity. Yep. They have 4 cards in hand. They're going to draw a couple extras. What are the chances that they have Veil of Summer, do you think? I think I gotta get rid of Saga. I don't realistically have that much time left in this game. Discard Orvar. Copy you. They can sack 2 Planeswalkers if they want to now, so that kind of sucks for us. No Veil of Summer, please. Alright, they don't have a Veil of Summer. I probably should have discarded Bridge instead of Saga, but hopefully it doesn't matter. I'm hoping that this Archon and Cranial Plating can close out the game for us. Metallic Rebuke, that's a little late. They explore, okay. So if I attack in with Archon, they're going to take 3 down to 6, they're going to block 1. So that gets rid of 1 Archon, they go down to 1 Archon, and then they probably sack Jace, I would assume. Let's Thought Casts. Well, it's not free yet, damn it. Alright, let's play Tanglepool Bridge. Thought Casts. Second Orvar, okay. Now we're cooking. We don't have Aether Spellbomb in our deck anymore. I'm sure that they're going to keep 1 Archon, right? That's got to be what happens here. How do I bait them into doing that? Do I need a Thought Monitor here? They're going to hit me with the Archon. I'm going to get to Orvar it. Maybe I just hold up the mana for Metallic Rebuke in case it winds up mattering. Let's just go to combat. We're swinging lethal. They have to block with at least 1 Archon here. We get to draw a card. So they're keeping the Jace. I don't like that. Maybe they have another creativity or something to try to finish the game? Huh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They don't have mana to hardcast an Archon. Let's just pass. I think I'd rather hold up Rebuke just in case it winds up mattering than put a plating into play that I probably don't need, or put a Thought Monitor into play that's probably not going to do much anyway. They play Fable, I can't counter that. That's fine. If they play another 3-drop, I can counter that. If they go for another Indomitable Creativity this turn, that would be ideal. They've seen a lot of their deck. They've probably found another one. At least it would be likely that they have. Saga. Okay. That gives us a B plan to establish a clock other than Orvar, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4. They found Natural State. Shit. Okay, that resolves. I can't rebuke that away. 3. Let's play Plating. Let's play Monitor. Draw 2. They have 4 cards in hand. We found another Plating and another Urza's Saga. If they go for removal on Monitor here, I am going to rebuke it just because it's unlikely that I find more things to rebuke this game because of how much mana they have. Okay, fuck you. You're going to have to try a little bit harder than that. Also, hopefully that means that they're going to use another Nature's Claim that they have in their hand during their turn to get rid of Monitor or Plating, so I can actually get Saga to make some constructs for me, maybe. They discard 2 Indomitable Creativities there. Weird. They might be scared of using them now because of the Orvar. I need to avoid dying to Reflection of Kiki Jiki Beatdown at this point, or to Jace just making value, or possibly ulting on me at some point. They have 4 cards in hand. They Creativity. Okay. Did they find a Veil of Summer? Copy your Archon. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. Please be dead. Please be dead, opponent. What are they doing here? Did they just do that so they could sack the dwarf, maybe? Looks like they did. Because they need to block with this Archon to not be dead here. They bounce the token. Okay, that makes sense. So we're still in danger. Don't like this. Ornithopter. Let's play Saga. How do I not die here? Let's play what we can. We're going to wind up discarding this Darksteel Citadel or Metallic Rebuke. I need another creature so that Ornithopter isn't dead when I try to block Archon with it. They could downtick. Okay, they're getting rid of the Saga. I can't counter that with Metallic Rebuke since they have 3 mana up. They flip Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I need to draw something now. There are no more Orvars. I'm taking a bunch of damage. Hilariously, if I had kept in Gingerbrute, that would be a live draw here, but they probably have removal for it, I would assume. Reflection of Kiki-Jiki is about to close out the game for me. They Fate Seal us, so I assume that means we're dead. Yep, they like what's on top. I don't like that. Well, we are certainly dead. I have a couple Ornithopters. They can use Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to copy Archon, which makes me sack them both, so that's not going to work. GG's to our opponent. That was a super interesting match. We had double Orvar. It didn't get us all the way. One of them did a lot of work, though, and I'll see you in the next round. All right, round 4, we lost the die roll. Our opponent's mulliganing to 6. We have double Thoughtcasts, double Urza's Saga, 2 other lands. One provides our blue mana and a Cranial Plating. I think this hand's fine. It might be a little on the slow side. Depending on what I draw on turn 1, I might wind up playing a Saga on turn 1. So I can start Thoughtcasting earlier. Like if I draw Memnite or Ornithopter, I might do that. They play Misty Rainforest and crack it. Okay. Getting Steam Vents. Is it Living End? They play Ragavan. Okay. We draw Gingerbrute. This looks like Murktide so far. Let's just go tap land go. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn and hits us with the monkey. What do they see? They get a Thoughtcast off the top. They make their treasure. Goddamn. Definitely looks like Murktide so far to me. And they don't have Giganta as a companion, so it's not a Breach deck. They crack Scalding Tarn, getting Steam Vents going down to 14, and they play Ledger Shredder. Okay. And then they bolt us in the face after that to trigger Shredder. Okay. That seems a little greedy with the Lightning Bolt, but alright. They get rid of an Unholy Heat. They must have a Murktide in their hand that they're trying to get down. Okay, we found a Relic. That's good to have. Let's play Saga. Let's play Relic. Let's go ahead and target them with that, and we'll pass. Depending on what they do here, I might wind up popping Relic this turn. I don't really want to, mostly because I would rather the construct be a 4/4. Opponent hits us. Okay. They make a treasure. They play Expressive Iteration. Alright. Getting a Spire Bluff Canal. 3 cards in our opponent's hand. Then they play Consider. Okay. I think that's leaning me towards just going ahead and popping Relic during the instep here. Because I really don't want to deal with Murktides coming down soon, and it's very possible. That also just goes ahead and turns off future Unholy Heats for a little bit, which is nice. Brazen Borrower into the graveyard, that's nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop Relic. Bit too many cards in the graveyard for me. Welding Jar, that's good to have. Let's play Jar and Treasure Vault. So we're still dodging Bolt. And we can block Monkey with the Construct. We have 2 Thoughtcasts to refuel. I don't know if I'm playing Cranial Plating next turn or not. I might be making a Construct, and I might just be making either another Relic and holding it up, which I could make a Construct at least for. Alright, they attack for 5. I'm going to go ahead and make a Construct. They must have some kind of interaction, like another Brazen Borrower, but we already saw one in the graveyard. They could have Dress Down, I guess, but that would be a little weird. They don't usually play that in the main deck that I've seen, and at least in that scenario, they're not getting a trigger with Ragavan anyway. Alright, block. Alright, Monkey down. Why did they do that? Unholy Heat, maybe? Second Monkey, that's why they did that. Okay. Do they have a Bolt? They must have a Bolt or something. They have Seasoned Pyromancer. Alright, we get to see what their last card in hand was. They discard a counterspell to Ledger Shredder. Since I'm at 8 and the Ledger Shredder is attacking for 4, I think it's necessary that I protect myself a little bit with a Shadow Spear here, rather than making another Construct immediately. Maybe Aether Spellbomb's better. Let's float mana, get Shadow Spear, play Thoughtcasts, find a Monitor off of that. Play another Saga. Do I want to play out the Springleaf Drum? It gives them a Ledger Shredder look, and I don't like that. That could line them up for Unholy Heat to kill Construct, or at least to attempt too soon, and I don't want that to happen. Although it makes the Construct a little bit bigger, which is nice for us. I would be going Springleaf Drum, Gingerbrute, equip Shadow Spear. I think that's probably fine, right? Because I'm not taking lethal on the clapback. I'd be taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They would get a treasure token. Yeah, let's go for it. As long as I sequence it like this, they shouldn't be able to interrupt it too badly. Play out Brute, equip, go to combat, and attack for 8. I wonder what they have in their hand. We're going to be at 16. They're at 5, so now they're in the danger zone. Although they have a very big Ledger Shredder that could be a problem for us still. I mostly wanted to get out of getting attacked with Ledger Shredder and then killed with like a bolt range, because that would make me very sad. But I think we should be fine now. Next turn I can make a construct, or I can cranial plating, and then also Thought Monitor Thoughtcast. They play another Shredder. They have 2 cards in hand. They play Consider, getting 2 Ledger Shredder triggers. So they are digging really hard. Yep. Discards a Shredder, discards an island. They draw whatever they see with Consider. I don't like that. Hopefully they're not playing 2 Brazen Borrowers. Borrower? It's hard to say for some reason for me. I guess I'm just a little stupid. Brazen Borrower. That's just a cumbersome word to say, I feel like. Maybe I'm going crazy. But what outs do they actually have here? They could be holding a counterspell up, but if they're just going to hold a counterspell up, that means I can slap them with the construct again and not really have to worry about it, and then just make more constructs with Urza's Saga. And if they don't hold a counterspell up, I can play Cranial Plating, they can Spell Pierce it, and I can still pay for it, and then they will be dead. Alright, they're attacking for 5, they're going to get a Monkey trigger. What do they see with Monkey? They saw an Urza's Saga. That's fine. If they double block the construct is still not dead, and we still gain a bunch of life. What does our opponent have here? It's got to be a Murktide, right? They've got to just be going for like a huge Murktide regent. Yep, they play Murktide. How big is it though? It's a 6/6. Okay. So they're at 5. They play Mishra's Bauble. They don't have any more cards in hand. Just whatever they're going to draw with this Mishra's Bauble during our turn. They have 17 toughness, 5 life. The Fiery Islet costs them 1, so effectively 4 life if they have interaction. We have 7, 8, 9 artifacts that we can get into play. More if they don't have Spell Pierce. But then we might be growing their Ledger Shredder if we do that. We draw another Plating. That's kind of interesting. Alright, they just scoop it up. So I didn't have to do the math, thank God. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we still just had them dead there. Probably not that turn, but very close to that because they would have had to triple block, I think, if we resolve Cranial Plating and put it on the construct. Alright, let's get into the next game. Let's bring in 2 Metallic Rebukes and 1 Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle is basically just for engineered explosives, although occasionally you can hit like Otawara with it if you know that they have it in hand somehow. And then the Rebukes, of course, are mostly just as filler because some of our cards aren't very good. But it hits Brotherhood's End and it hits Dress Down, which is pretty important for this matchup. And we're taking out Gingerbrute, Nettle Cyst, and a Haywire Mite. Reason we don't like Nettle Cyst, of course, is that it gives them their best opportunity to gain tempo by countering something, and that's really not something that we want to allow them to do. And also, if they just happen to be playing Archmage's Charm, it's really bad for us, because they can steal the germ and it still has the +1/+1 equal to our board, and we might wind up killing ourselves by accident there. Alright, our opponent's mulliganing to 6. We have a lot of blue spells and none blue manas, so let's mulligan. I'm not super excited about this hand, but it's fine. Spellbomb's pretty good against Murktide, and we might be able to get a Thought Monitor down early. I think I just get rid of one of the Ornithopters here. Although getting rid of the basic island could also be fine. They might have brought in Blood Moons though, so I don't really want to get rid of that just in case. So let's get rid of an Ornithopter. Our opponent's keeping 6. They play Mishra's Bauble. They crack it on themselves. I assume doing the pseudo scry with a fetch land play. They play Misty Rainforests. They crack it. They didn't like what was on top. They shock themselves with Steam Vents. And they pass. Beautiful. No turn 1 monkeys is always great for us. Let's just start off with Citadel, Drum, and let's go ahead and play Thopter Spellbomb too, in case they play Ledger Shredder on turn 2, since they likely don't have Spell Pierce, otherwise they would have hit Drum probably. And hopefully that means we'll be able to get Thought Monitor down relatively quickly. They bolt Ornithopter, that's fine. We have more where that came from. They play Spirebluff Canal, and they pass. Interesting. So they are pretty clearly holding up Counterspell, I think. Am I fine with them countering a Thought Monitor? I think I'd rather just wait. Let's just pass, not give them the opportunity to fill up their graveyard more and get a Murktide down. They play another Spirebluff, and they go to pass again. We draw another Thought Monitor. That's a little bit annoying since we don't have as many artifacts as we'd like to have in play for this, but I think I just pass again for similar reasons. I want to wait until I can at least double cast these Thought Monitors, and all that realistically takes is me drawing another artifact land. So hopefully that shouldn't take too long for me to do. They play a tapped Steam Vents. Okay. Are they playing something? They thought about playing something. Okay. Treasure Vault. Let's play Ornithopter. Play Treasure Vault. Play Thought Monitor. I assume there's a counter spell here. There isn't. What? Alright, I guess I'll just play another Thought Monitor. We draw 2 more cards. Play Springleaf Drum. Is there a Spell Pierce? No. What about another Thought Monitor? Like, honestly, even if they board wipe me here with, like, dealing 2 damage to each creature with Brotherhood's End, each of these drew me 2 cards, so I don't really care that much. We have an Urza Saga for next turn now. If we get to untap, we are holding up Spellbomb to protect a Thought Monitor and draws 2 more cards, and that's pretty cool. I don't understand what our opponent has, because they didn't even use removal at the end of our turn, so they must just have, like, a hand of Murktide Regents or something. Something awful. They play Expressive Iteration, okay. What does our opponent have? Are they just flooding? I mean, they are at least flooding to some extent, since they already have 4 lands in play, but still. They reveal a Spirebluff Canal, exiled with Expressive Iteration, and they don't do anything. This is bizarre. Alright, well, let's attack for 6. I don't understand what our opponent has in their hand, but I'm not going to question it any further than just being happy that they're not doing anything, I guess. What you got? Unholy Heat. Okay, I'm not even going to bounce that one. They could easily have another piece of spot removal. Damn it, I passed in turn. Oh, got a little distracted there. Oh well, definitely a misplay, but hopefully it won't make too much of an impact. They play Fury, alright. So I'm just going to pick up whatever Thought Monitor or Thought Monitors they're targeting. Draw a couple more cards here. Maybe they just had a bunch of Furies in their hand? That's a little weird. We're going to get to draw a couple more cards at least. And they won't expect all these cards we had in our hand that I forgot to play last turn. Thoughtcast, okay. Let's lead on Thoughtcasts. Froggy, Darksteel Citadel, play Saga. Okay, play Drum, play Monitor. I'd like to find a Rebuke, find a Thoughtcast, play Thoughtcasts, Welding Jar, Memnite, Froggy, Sojourner's Companion, Relic of Progenitus, and I will boop you with the Relic. We can't realistically stop them from playing a Murktide since they have 5 lands in play, and we have a bunch of blockers for that anyway, so I don't really care. I'm just going to slowly chip away at them with this Relic of Progenitus, stop them from having Delirium, hopefully. And while our opponent's thinking about what they want to do with their hand, I just want to appreciate, this is exactly what I like to do with Affinity. I think these are the strongest types of games that we can have, where we establish a lot of board presence and have a clock, and then also have an Urza Saga up. I don't like it when we're all in on a Saga or all in on a plating or one plan like that, but if you can play against mid-range or tempo decks like Murktide or like 4-color and make a board and then have the Urza Saga to recover from the board, or have Thought Monitors in your hand to recover your board if they like board wipe or answer a bunch of things, that's the best possible situation you can be in, and that's what you really want to look for when you're playing this deck. We could have had it a turn earlier if I had not accidentally clicked through my turn, but either way, that's definitely what you want. They play a Monkey. Okay. They go to combat. Are they going to attack with the Fury? They do not attack with the Fury. Oh, okay. They have 4 cards in hand. We roll up Saga. I'm going to go ahead and boop them with a Relic, and then I'm going to attack with both the Sojourner's Companions and Thought Monitor, leaving back the Frogmites and Memnites since Fury can just block them and not worry about anything. Opponent blocks. Opponent blocks. I think they might have a dress down to deal with the constructs. That would make sense why their hand's been so sluggish, if they just have a bunch of good answers to constructs and not for other things. So I think we might have to close out with the board that we have currently, but we'll see. I'm curious if they have a way to get rid of the Sojourner's Companion and not lose their Fury. Alright, opponent takes 2. They lose a Fury and a Ragavan. Let's play Mistvault Bridge. Let's pass. And I think during their upkeep, I'm just going to go ahead and pop Relic. We have the Welding Jar in case they respond to it with Unholy Heat. They bolt Sojourner's Companion. I will Jar Companion. I think they have a Murktide in their hand, and while they don't have the mana to play it hard cast right now, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. That way, hopefully, if they do have a way to play Murktide here, we drew another Relic, that's nice to have. We can just bounce it during our turn. Oh, we can't because we already used Spellbomb. What am I talking about? Okay, they have EE on 0. Alright. Well, we have a Needle somewhere in our deck for that. They pop Engineered Explosives on 0. Okay. That was a little weird. But damn if they didn't kill that Ornithopter and Memnite. I wonder if they meant to Engineer Explosives on 1 since they tapped that 1 mana for it and they were trying to get the Springleaf Drums. Either way, that was exceptionally odd. They have 2 cards in hand. We should just have them dead here, I think. Although they could have Dress Down to buy themselves time. We draw Thought Monitor. Let's make another construct. Let's get Needle. Stop any more Engineered Explosives from happening to us. Play Monitor. Draw 2. And they scoop it up. Hooray. Alright, so no dress downs apparently, and I'll see you in the last round. Alright, final round. We are going to take the play. We're 3-1 right now. We got to mulligan this since we don't have any lands. Hopefully I can turn it into a 4-1 and get a decent amount of chest with it. Damn, this also kind of sucks. Our opponent's also mulliganing to 6. I'm sort of tempted to keep this. but I can't get the Thought Cast down relatively quickly anyway, so I think I got a mulligan to 5, which I do not like. Oh my god. Holy shit. Alright. This hand we really need another land. 3, 4, 5. Is that what I would keep? Let's keep it. Get rid of Gingerbrute and Sojourner's Companion. If I find another land, at least I'm kind of in business with Patchwork Automaton and Cranial Plating making a quick clock, but this is very sketchy, I gotta say. Let's take this upkeep stop off. Blackleaf Cliffs. We found a Springleaf Drum. I'm just gonna pass after playing that. That gets us mana at least, as long as they don't grief away our Memnite here. They play Polluted Delta, crack it for a swamp. They play Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. I wonder if they have Fury in their hand. If I play Frogmite out, they can't Fury away everything anymore at least. We'll see. I'm glad that they didn't have double grief to break up my hand really quickly. They bolt the Patchy, that's going to take all their mana, okay. Better than them having a grief, although I will miss the Patchwork Automaton. They hit us for 3, that's fine. They have 4 cards in hand. We draw Froggy. Let's play Cranial Plating. Well, might as well play out the Frogmite and tap that for it, right? They didn't have Fury last turn, so I think I just have to play as if they don't have it. Attack for 3 and hope that they still don't have it or they're dead, but we'll see. Opponent plays Bloodstained Mire. Maybe they'll just flood out and we won't have to worry about it. They've got 4 lands in their hand, I can feel it. Opponent plays Kolaghan's Command, alright. We have another Cranial Plating at least, so it's still better than them playing Fury twice. Thought Monitor's nice to have, but we can't quite play it yet. Let's play another Plating, attack for 2 with Froggy. We might be playing Thought Monitor next turn. It really just depends on what they do. If they give me the opportunity, I would definitely prefer to pay 2 mana and play Thought Monitor than just equip Cranial Plating and swing, because getting more rectangles is really important in this kind of matchup, and I could just wind up drawing an untapped land and being able to equip anyway. We go to 11. They could just go land Fury if they have it here, and that would definitely be a blowout. They play, it looks like a Grief. Alright, no Thought Monitor, but we're still not getting Furied yet, so that's nice. We find a Shadow Spear. That's interesting. Let's equip up Memnite with Cranial Plating. Let's play Shadow Spear with the Frogmite. Go ahead and get that into play. And I'm fine with trading Grief for Memnite, so let's attack for 7. I'd rather get the Grief out of play before they get a chance to give it Undying, or one of their pseudo-undying effects. Alright, Grief down and Memnite down. Opponent plays Seasoned Pyromancer. Glad we have the Shadow Spear, although we still need more mana to be able to equip it along with the Cranial Plating anytime soon. They had a couple of Blood Moons stuck in their hand, that makes sense. This Dothy Voidwalker is still chipping in at our life total, which is a little annoying. We need to start gaining life if we want to contend with that. They Undying the Dothy Voidwalker and cast something with it. Okay. What are they casting? Thought Monitor, I assume? Yeah. So they get to draw some cards. That's pretty annoying. They play a land. They have 3 cards left in their hand. We find a Welding Jar. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're dead to Monkey. We're dead to Bolt if we just put Shadow Spear on Frogmite here. But I think that's what I have to do, because otherwise I don't really have something that I'm working towards, I don't think. Yeah, let's just do that. Alright. We'll see what happens. Pass the turn. Hopefully we'll get to connect with this Frogmite with the Cranial Plating on it next turn, but things are very, very sketchy. Opponent gets a Blood Crypt, goes to 12, and they have the Monkey. Alright, I'll scoop it up. We just mulliganed very poorly. I don't think there's anything else I can say about that one, really. Let's bring in Pithing Needle for Engineered Explosives and Grafdigger's Cage for the scam effects. Let's cut Haywire Mite and Memnite. I kind of go back and forth in this matchup on which I prefer cutting between Memnite and Gingerbrute. I think I like keeping the Gingerbrute in when they don't see it, at least, just because very often you can get down to a board stall where they have a bunch of tokens to block with, or they have a bunch of creatures that don't really matter anymore, like Ragavans and stuff, if you already have a board, and then you just really want to draw flying creatures to be able to finish off the game. So Gingerbrute kind of gives us another out to that. Memnite's good because we can block Ragavan with it, but they could also just run out Fury Scam and trade it for just like 1 Memnite, and that's pretty bad for us because then they establish a board and also get to trade for something. Or not even trade for something, they just get to kill it outright. So I don't know. I think I prefer the Gingerbrute most of the time. Alright, we'll take the play. We're hopefully not going to mulligan ourselves to death again. Double Thought Monitor, Springleaf Drum that we can get down before they have a chance to Thought Seize us. Ornithopter to pay for it. Let's keep. This seems fine. Assuming they don't diddle my hand at all or like blow up the Springleaf Drum, I can play Thought Monitor on turn 2, which I think is pretty cool. They mulligan to 6. They mulligan to 5. Alright, let's go Darksteel Citadel, Springleaf Drum, and pass. No Thought Seizes, no Griefs. No Thought Seizes, no Griefs. They play Blackleaf Cliffs, and they pass. No Thought Seizes, no Griefs. Okay, let's play Ornithopter, Treasure Vault, and I'm just going to go ahead and slam a Thought Monitor. Create 2 more rectangles in my hand while I can. I'll hold the Frogmite in my hand for now in case they have Fury to play. I'd rather wait. They play Swamp, they play Voidwalker, and they pass no Furies. Okay, let's go Shadow Spear. Thought Monitor, tapping Ornithopter. Draw 2. I'd love to find a relic or something. We don't quite do that. Let's play Mistvault Bridge. Go to combat. Attack for 2. They didn't have Fury Scam last turn, so they probably won't this turn either. So I might as well just go Frogmite Sojourner's Companion. And then next turn I can refuel with Thoughtcast. There's maybe an argument for running out the Ornithopter in case they do Grief Scam so that they're only getting Thoughtcast, but I'd rather play around the removal. Alright, they scoop it up that game. Thank God. Okay, run it back. Let's do that one more time. Hopefully they will be the one mulliganing a lot if only one of us is doing it, because that worked out for us last game, but we'll see. All right, this hand we have 2 tapped lands, Springleaf Drum, Pithing Needle, Froggy, Ornithopter, Cranial Plating. I do like having Cranial Plating early in this matchup. I don't like having double tapped land. I don't really want a mulligan just for an Urza's Saga since we saw Blood Moons in game 1. Our opponent's mulliganing to 6. I think I'll keep this. We should be able to at least reliably play whatever top decks we have, depending on if they have Thoughtseize or Grief and a Scam effect. We could wind up with any amount or lack of these things actually in our hand on turn 1, so I don't want to get too attached to anything. We will see what happens. All right, they keep 6. They play Bloodstained Mire, cracking it down to 19, and Shock down to 17. They Fury, okay. They exile a Kolaghan's Command with that, and they Undying Malice to get the Fury back. Okay, so they're just going straight for the early clock. They only have 2 cards left in their hand now. That's really interesting. I'm not going to run out the Ornithopter yet. I'm just going to pass. If we can find an Aether Spellbomb to bounce this Fury, that would be fantastic. If I can get the Sojourner's Companion into play relatively quickly, that would be good too, because that means I'm at least towards being able to kill the Fury or race it. I might wind up just having to run out these Frogmites and Ornithopters in front of it as speed bumps, but we'll see. All right, we found another Ornithopter. That's a good sign. They have 2 cards in hand. Let's go Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, or Pithing Needle, Engineered Explosives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just get all of our creatures into play here. I'm going to start blocking the Fury because I don't want to drop all the way down to 4, and I think we might be able to just race with this Cranial Plating if it stays in our hand. They have another Fury, god damn it. Okay, that's annoying. They just kill Sojourner's Companion. Do they have a way to save it? Oh my god, they do. They had double Fury Scam. Well, that just probably means I'm dead. Like, they can kill our blockers here, put us down to 4. Even if we block with our Ornithopter next turn, we're dead. And not by a small margin. So I have to draw, like, exactly Thought Monitor, or Thoughtcast into Thought Monitor to have a shot here, I think. Tanglepool Bridge. Well, that was brutal. I'll let them see what we have, and then I'll scoop it up. GG's to our opponent. My god, that was a brutal scam game. All right, and we will concede. Only 1 treasure chest, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and open it up. So like I said before, or at least if I remembered to, like I said before, next time I play Affinity on this channel, it's probably going to be a challenge, since it seemed like people were interested in that. Portal to Phyrexia, that's a good pull. And I think that'll be interesting. I'm not sure how much I'm going to edit the challenge, because it is going to be a longer video, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to compress the videos down a lot like I have been doing recently. We'll see how long it winds up being. If you have a deck that you'd like to see me play, let me know. I had a request for Belcher that I think would be interesting to do, so I might be doing a Belcher video soon, probably with the deck tech. And I've also been thinking about revisiting either 4/5 color humans or maybe doing a mono white humans video, because I think that'd be fun. It was really fun revisiting Dredge recently, and like I said in that video, it was an audience request. So let me know if there's anything you think of you'd like to see me play, either that I've already covered and you'd like to see me play again, or something new, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically, go subscribe to Tezzey's YouTube channel, and for those who made it to the end of the video, thank you!